Hello and welcome to Empowered the Podcast. I am your host, Linda Brand, and today's guest is a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator because I love bringing you powerful healers that can help us heal all the things we need to heal and feel better and live our best lives. She spent 15 years as a nurse in women's health, obstetrics, and neonatal. She's an online fitness coach. Her passion is breath work. So we had a breath work person on before, but we have Lo Bundy is here today. She's a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator, and I'm super excited to talk to her and hear about her journey. She's a beautiful light. She shows up beautifully, and I'm so excited. So welcome, Lo, to the show. Is that what you like to be called, Lo?
Well, that's what everyone calls me. So thank you, Linda, for
You're
having
so
me on
welcome.
Empowered. I'm excited to be here.
Yay, yes. Tell us, well, your journey as to what, how did you transition from nurse to breathwork facilitator? Like, tell us your story, if you will.
Okay, so I've been nursing for 15 years, women's health, obstetrics, neonatal. I love it. I love my job. I love working in the fields that I have. I love working with the little neonates, seeing them get bigger and better and go home. It's just like, such a joy to be a part of that and to help the families learn how to provide for their kids. I was on my own journey, my own healing journey. I had a wonderful childhood, amazing childhood. When I was 16, my parents got divorced out of nowhere and my whole world shattered and I didn't know how to cope. So I went to other coping mechanisms, drugs, alcohol, whatever would give me that hit of dopamine, whatever would give me that hit to feel good. Um, and then that proceeded for years. And then as I became on my healing journey, I came across breath work. So I was working with a mentor who's an intuitive person, a medium, a seer, whatever you prefer to call it. And when we were working together, she said, "You need to do your breath work." And I was like, okay, sure. And our next week later, the intuitive person she was like, you didn't do your breath work. And I was like, nope, I've been breathing for almost 40 years. Like, I get it, not really knowing the power. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I did it. I did a holotropic breathwork session, jumped in full feet with 2 feet for the full session, and it blew me out into the ethers. I was able to just go so deep into my body for once and get downloads and gain clarity when I had been living in the chaos of my mind for the past 30 odd years before that. Just the chaos, the anxiety, the overwhelm, and breathwork allowed me to drop down into my body and really have a listen to what she had to say, what my intuition was, and started my healing journey. And once I did that, I was like, I need to know, like, why doesn't everybody know about this?
I
Um,
love it. So tell us, I feel like there's some time, like, I want to know the time line because you were 16 and your
mhm.
parents got divorced and your world, you know, went crazy and you did the alcohol, the drugs, but where did the nursing, like you got out of that somehow because you got a nursing degree and you went into nursing, right? So, or were you, yeah, just curious how that,
So
the
when I was
timeline.
16, I started like, I was always like, I was valedictorian. I was always on top of my game. And I was like, stop going to school. Um, And then after I graduated high school, like I got my work done. I passed, everything was great. After high school, um, I took a college course in something that I really wasn't a passion for me. So I started bartending. So along with bartending, it's just lots of partying and you get to make money in where I was working at. And that went on for a while. And then I was like, I really need to get my shit together. And, I want to do something more in the medical field. And, um, and that's kind of when I stepped into nursing. And with nursing, you can be a drinker and it's just common, right? Common things are common.
Yeah.
Um, and you're functioning and you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna grab a bottle of wine on the way home. And it's just like that was like the pattern, the pattern, the pattern.
Okay. Got it.
Um, Yeah, and then
Where does your husband and children come into play and all that?
yeah, so my husband is a full-time firefighter. I've got two children, a 10-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. They were wonderful and they were part of my journey of it's like sobriety, but just like not drinking anymore because I was realizing that they were getting old enough to notice that mommy would act differently at nighttime.
Mm.
And I
So
didn't
you are
want that
sober?
to be.
Are you sober?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
me
quit
too.
drinking 3 years ago.
Oh, congratulations. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was more of just like I was sick of my own shit.
Yeah.
It was time to I worked out, I was a nurse, I ate healthy, but I just enjoyed drinking too much. Um, and that's kind of how that started.
Yeah. So, there's a couple things on my mind. I hear your kitty cat and so you've got two kids and a kitty cat. Or how many cats?
We have two cats. This one just had a bowel obstruction surgery, so he's extremely
Oh,
busy right now. I apologize.
my goodness. What happened that the cat needed surgery?
He ate a rubber dinosaur
Oh,
and
geez.
obstructed his bowels.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, that's like my baby. We gotta save him.
Oh. So I see a lot of sticky notes on the side of your wall, and I just gotta ask what those are because I have sticky notes all over my mirror in my bathroom, and I have some throughout the apartment, although I take them away when the maintenance people come because I'm like, they're gonna think I'm crazy, but I don't really care what they think. But
I'm actually developing a course, an online course, and this is my outline. It was a post-it party that we did.
oh,
That's
nice.
gonna for breath work for people to do at home to go from chaos to calm and finding
Mm,
balance and learning
mm.
how to do different techniques to regulate
Oh, that's
um,
beautiful.
all day, every day.
So tell us the healing benefits. So you said breath work helped you just get your intuition was flowing, you got out of the mind, like, because we all have these programs in our mind, and you know if we're not being mindful and conscious and choosing different thoughts or waking up and choosing to set ourselves up to win with a morning practice,
Mhm.
we just get caught up in just all the external BS and the programs that our mind has. So breath work, tell us more on the benefits and healing benefits. Because to me, what is the difference between meditation and breath work? Like, can you?
So for me with meditation, I would sit down and it would be like, what am I gonna have for supper? What are the kids doing? And it was just like thought after thought after thought. And I wasn't able to sit there and do what I thought breath work or what I thought meditation was. So we normally have like 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. 90% of those are negative. The majority of those are recycled thoughts from the days before, the weeks, months, years. It's just these like a cyclical behavior of negative thoughts that we think the majority of the day. And that's why a lot of people live in chaos and anxiety. So, with that, there's a lot of stuck emotions in the body. And with breath work, you're able to tap into those places and start to heal those places, getting out of the mind and dropping into the body. So, by having your breath to focus on and then having the nervous system shift, the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala have a relationship with breath work, and you're able to get past those systems, get past that executive functioning, and really drop into your inner knowing and your wisdom and really find empowerment through that.
I love it. Yeah, I knew you knew a lot just from our other previous conversations. That's great. So, are you still doing nursing, or you're only a breathwork facilitator?
I do still do nursing part time,
Oh, okay.
as my breath work is my passion. And as business grows, I think I might have to reconsider that. But I do love what I do nursing. But with changes I've seen with myself and my clients with breathwork and being able to getting into seeing the differences that it can make in people's confidence and self-worth and self-trust and self-love. It's definitely the way I want to go.
Nice. Okay, that's amazing. I love it. It's like you felt you how did you initially find this person that introduced you to breath work? Like what happened
So
in your life? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, she actually reached out to me, and I had known her for before. We worked as coaches together. She was in the fitness industry. I was in the fitness industry, so we'd always kind of been around each other. She was a party girl. I was a party girl, and she reached out to me, and we stayed in communication here and there. And she reached out to me and was like, I knew what she was doing with her spirituality, with her relationship with God, her intuitive mediumship, and all that she was doing. She reached out to me. She's like, I just, I got this download, and it came to me, and I'm just reaching out to you to let you know that I'm supposed to work with you. And at
Mm,
first, of course, I was hesitant. I was like, oh, like is this scammy? Like, what is this
yeah.
coming from? And I kind of thought on it for a little bit, and all these little synchronicities, these little, or God winks, I like to call them, started coming up, where it was like her name would show up a bunch of times in a week. And her
Mm,
name's Nora Nibbins, not a common name. Um,
no, Nora and Laura. Mhm.
yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, let's do this. Like I am, and it was just at the most perfect timing. It
Mm,
was like I was ready. You have to be ready to make that big shift, to start loving yourself. If you're not ready to learn how to love yourself and to stick with it, it's not
yeah.
going to be, you're not going to see the process through.
Yeah, I love how it just switched from breathwork to loving yourself. It's so powerful. You you felt called to work with her and she said, I'm supposed to work with you. And you were kind of like, is this, right? And then you kept seeing
Yeah.
signs from the universe.
Yeah.
And now look at this is like your passion work. It's so
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that so much. That's
I
so
think
cool.
it was like one of the first times I really started listening to my intuition when I look back on it, the kind of that inner knowing, that wisdom. So, yeah, all those little synchronicities, all those little God winks, started coming about, and I was like I have the feeling that yes, like you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. We're supposed to be working together.
So how long did you work with her? And, I always like to know, like, I know it must be individual, but like if someone wants to do a breath work session with you or, or I mean, like how long is it? Like, or is this like something you do regularly, like meditate?
Mhm. So with breath, so there's two types of breath work. There's down regulating breath work, which gets our nervous system more into the parasympathetic, the rest and digest part of breath work of our nervous system. So that's going again from calm to, or from chaos to calm, really lowering the anxiety. That I do all day, every day. I have OCD, I have had generalized anxiety, and learning how to self regulate has been a game changer just with how I live my life, how I invite more play into my life. The other side of breath work is the upregulating breath work. So you're stepping into stimulating the nervous system, into the not into the fight or flight, but you're just stepping into stimulating the nervous system enough that your nervous system is able to regulate, and you are kind of able to go into these theta brain waves. And that's when the really cool stuff happens. So that I would say once or twice a week. My clients usually do a 6 to a 12 week container to start, with once a week sessions.
Hmm.
So the down regulating, you can drop into a box breath, a triangle breath, and just like
Mm.
bring yourself back into your body, back into your calm. And then we can go on these awesome upregulating, circular, connected, conscious breathwork sessions where people get downloads and they get clarity. Some people have spiritual experiences. There's physical experience, sensations and stuff that come up in the body as well. But breathwork has allowed me to make things where I've been stuck and I've been like, is this the direction that I should go in with my business? Like, should I start doing a course and then doing a breathwork session and setting that as my intention and getting downloads on what my course is going to be about, what the modules are going to be, what the outline's going to
Yeah.
be.
So it
So,
sounds, yeah, it sounds like what meditation is to many, breath work is to you. Like, because for me, when I sit in meditation, I get downloads a lot, divine,
yeah.
you know? So I think that, yeah, for you, breath work is that. And like, there's so many healing modalities. There's so many ways to heal and grow and we're so fortunate, right, that there are so
Yeah.
many choices out there. And I think, tapping like EFT, I've been doing, emotional freedom
Mhm.
technique. Have you ever done any of that? Tapping?
I was in the self-care space and they did a session on, it was like a little bit of everything, a little bit of hypnotherapy, a little bit of tapping, EMDR. Um, and it was, so I got to have a little taste of a lot of different things. And I think that has just grown my knowledge base and helped me to identify what can help my clients and what can help me.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think finding what speaks to your soul is what is key.
Yeah.
Finding what is going to work for you. And I think sometimes too, like talk therapy, I am all for talk therapy, going to see a therapist. Some people, they need the combination of the talk therapy as well as the in the body experience to release that energy,
Yeah.
that stagnant energy. And the combination works great for some.
Yeah. I love that. That's amazing. So it all started really with your family's divorce and then so, what is your husband also participating in your breath and the kids? Do they do breath work or tell us?
My kids, like my daughter had a seizure at the end of last year,
I'm
and she had
sorry.
never had anxiety before, and she started having anxiety attacks. And being able to do breath work with her to regulate her nervous system has been such a gift. I'm like, if if business even wasn't as good as it was right now, and that was the only thing that came out of me learning how to be a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator is helping her to regulate herself. Like that's enough. That's all I have to do. My
That's
son,
incredible.
yeah, my son with this amazing is ADHD when he gets like out of his body, and we've been able to do breath work to help him regulate his nervous system. He's in grade 2, he'll do it at school. He'll be like, I'm just gonna go and do some deep breathing.
That's
I'm like, oh my
amazing.
babies. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I
I,
love that. This is
yeah.
so powerful that we can get the kids doing it. That's
Done
incredible.
workshops with I've done children's workshops, and we've done like a hot chocolate breath, I'll call it, where we like pretend we're holding a hot chocolate mug and we're gonna smell through our nose for 4 seconds, and then we blow on
Mm.
the hot chocolate to cool it off for 6 seconds. And that's a form of a 4-6 breath or a 4-8 breath, whatever the child's able to do to downregulate their nervous system.
Oh my gosh. In today's
Yeah.
world, this could not be more important. And like I love that analogy of with the hot chocolate. Oh my gosh. And like just the like constant, you know, I'm not even a child, but like the focus to me is a superpower today. In today's world, focus is a superpower. Like I get up and I have this morning practice where I don't touch the phone. I mean, I'll look at it just to see what time it is or something. And then I put it away until, I'm done with my morning thing. And then it's like the ding and the emails and then this and the phone call. And it's like constant,
Mhm.
constant, right? And we're both entrepreneurs, so we set our own schedule. I mean, you have the little bit of nursing you're doing, but it's like there's so much, constantly, and that I think that this is such a powerful tool. So I definitely have to do a little more, or maybe I'll do some sessions with you because I know I could benefit.
And one of the
Absolutely.
other, yeah, like one of the other benefits, especially for like people that are so busy, like entrepreneurs who are making their own schedule, they're slotting stuff in all day long, is that I find we forget to be present, and being able to use your breath to drop back into your body to get out of the clutter and the chaos of the mind, and just learning to be present in these moments, um, that life doesn't, so it doesn't just pass us by trying to reach the destination. It's like celebrating every little win along the way. I had
Yeah.
my kids swimming, and I was in my head. There was so much screaming going around. I had just had my hair done, and I had two interviews the next day, and I was like, I don't want to get my hair wet. The kids are screaming, my head's pounding. And then I just stopped, and I just did some breaths, dropped into my body, and I was like, I'm like my daughter's hand. She's holding my hand. Her hand will never be this small again.
Yeah.
I could feel the warmth of the water. I could
Yes.
hear the laughter of children. And it was
Mm.
just like such powerful moments
Mindful,
like
like,
that, just by the use of our breath, being able to get out of the mind and somatically drop into the body, um,
hmm
has been a gift. And I love gifting that to other people.
I know. And it's the more that we learn about all the things, like we are, I assume you believe what I do. I know that we're in the same circles, is that we are energetic spiritual beings having this human experience. So we're really
Totally.
all energy, right? And then when you say, drop into your body, it's like, yeah, because the mind is not who we are. And the mind is not, it's a program that, you
So
know,
good.
it's a program, and we're not our bodies either. But when you change the program, which I've been working on for so long, and
Mhm.
you're consciously choosing different thoughts and all that, you still have to um you know learn to regulate the physical body, because the physical body responds to everything, right? Even
Yeah.
if it's good, and you have a program that, oh my gosh, it's good, I'm gonna like what's gonna happen, I'm not comfortable with this, right?
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of us have all kinds of things we're working on and working through, including myself. And now I'm diving deep into the worthiness, because that new book,
Mhm.
that Jamie Kern Lima book,
I
Worthy.
just got it in the mail 2 days ago.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is like it. This
Yeah.
is the answer to everything for me, because, you can show up confident and be confident, but it's completely different to have self-worth. And,
Mhm.
it just makes total sense as to why things are the way they are. And I think a lot of us are walking around with challenges around worthiness.
Yeah, and I feel like before I'm getting into all these practices, there was like so many masks. There was like my people pleasing mask. There was
Mhm.
my acceptance mask. Like this is how I have to be accepted, or um, being in comparison all the time and
Mm.
not really knowing it. But with stuff like social media, we're like, oh, that person looks like they're doing so good. Oh, their kids always look so happy. Like we're just automatically seeing the highlights reel of other people's lives, and it's they say comparison is the thief of joy. So being able to take some of these masks off and just really get comfortable with myself and my self-trust and my self-worth and that self-love, um,
Mhm.
it's been like a game changer. It's been life-changing.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, me too, me too. Like, I had Rachel Madorsky on the show with her new book, How to Love Yourself in Less Than a Week and for the Rest of Your Life. And
Mm,
that book in itself is just gentleness. It's just the entire book is like, what is the most loving next action I can take for myself right now? And a lot of times it's just do nothing. It's to rest,
mhm.
because we're always go,
Yeah,
go, go. And then I love what you're saying about like this being a game changer, because there's a lot of self-hatred, and I think
mhm.
I was on that journey, and here I am trying to love myself all these years, figuring it out, and then,
Yeah,
realizing that, worthiness is all it's all connected, all of it, and
it's
it's
all
just
connected.
yeah. And the way, I've taken different actions to change my life and help myself, but I still self-sabotage, and it's because of the worthiness, 100%. I
And like
could
I think your acknowledgement of that and knowing that is the first step into healing that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Thank you.
we need to feel in order to heal, but in order to feel, we need to become better feelers. So a lot of
Mhm.
times we feel something and we're like, oh, shove it away, put it down, shove it down, and the body's
Yeah,
stored
eat something.
somewhere.
Eat something. That's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
right?
Like,
Now,
because I don't drink either. So it's like, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna, it's like we do that. We numb the pain by, consuming something, whether we're buying something or eating something or drinking something, and we don't have to do that. We can
mm-hmm.
feel the feelings. We can sit with the uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah, yeah, and feel through them and like let them invalidate them, and allow it to validate yourself. And I think
Exactly.
with I had 2 concussions in the past 5 years, and I began binge eating. So I gained a bunch of weight. The comparison, the like you said, the hate and the loathing that you begin to have for yourself. Um, and breathwork allowed because what I learned is that when I was in stillness with myself, that's when that's when the eating would start. And sometimes it would be healthy foods. It would be healthy foods, and it would just be like copious amounts. But be learning how to be in stillness by myself, with my breath, and learning to be okay in those moments helped me to get over my binge eating that I had.
Yeah, thank you for sharing and being so vulnerable. Tell us about your concussions. How did you have two concussions in 5 years? What happened to you?
It was 2 car accidents,
Oh,
rear-ended both times. Once I was the driver, once I was a passenger. And it's been a really long journey. I still have post-concussive symptoms. My cognition was off. I couldn't concentrate. Um, I couldn't switch from one thought to the other. Like it was just too much. I
mm,
wasn't able to sort things. I was off work for almost a year. I had the physical ailments, the headaches, the neck pain, the back pain, the shoulder pain. Um, I was always having to tell my kids, like, no, mom, you can't do that right now. Like, mommy, come for a walk. And I'm like, mom, you can't do that. Mommy's too sore. So I feel
mm.
there was a lot of
That's
a lot
horrible.
that
I'm
went on with
sorry.
that yeah, thank you. There was a lot that went on with that. So there was a lot of healing that had to be done around that.
Yeah. So tell us what year did you get into the breath work? Because I the timeline. So how long? Because were you into breath work at the time of these car crashes?
My breath work started after that. So I have been on my breathwork journey for about 2.5 years now.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
after, okay, and it probably helped a lot with those
Oh my
things.
gosh. Oh my gosh. The amount of healing that had to be done um was unbelievable. And breathwork has allowed me to do that. I think that's part of my passion. Why I'm like, why doesn't everybody know about this? Like, let
Mm.
me tell the world about breathwork and its benefits and what it's done for me, and how it's changed my life, my family's life, being able to help other people's children, being able to help other women grow their businesses, find that, like we said, that self-love again.
Oh my goodness. That's
It's so
incredible.
rewarding.
So what do you have in the works besides, so you're creating a course, and is it going to be a live course, or is it a course that's like evergreen recorded and stuff?
I think it's going to be pre-recorded, but there's going to be a live component to it. It might switch to an evergreen one day, but I would like to do a few launches a year. I also do my one-on-one clients. I do group coaching sessions for corporate and like businesses that are finding that when we do sessions and they kind of do it as a group, that everyone's improving
Mm-hmm.
themselves and profits start to rise in the company. So I've been diving into that a little bit more. And I'm going to be starting a membership next month.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. Tell us about the membership, and then I have to, don't let me forget to tell you about my son listening to one of his, I think it was a wrestler or something, or fighting guy, and how I'll just say it right now. He hires a driver because he doesn't want to waste the 40 minutes. He does breath work on his way to his events. while the driver is driving him because
Oh,
of
I
the
love that.
the power of the breath work. Yes. So I thought that was really he was telling me about it yesterday, and he never listens to much. He's like gets it divine from the, source, but he was listening to these champions and how they're all into manifesting. They're all into everything that you and I are into, and this
Yeah.
podcast is into. And he had to share that with me that he literally uses that time that he's being driven instead of driving to do breath work in preparation
Mhm.
for his fights or whatever it is. I think it was
That's so good. I have
UFC
some
fights.
clients that before they go on stage or before they host events, that they'll do a quick breathwork session beforehand so they can really drop in and get one with themselves and what they're focused on.
That's
I love
incredible.
that.
Yeah. So tell us about your membership that you're starting, and what it would cost and how it works, just so we can.
Yeah, so my breath work, I'm still kind of deciding if it's going to be a weekly or bi-weekly sessions. There's also going to be a membership area where you can log in, and there are short breathwork sessions that you can listen to at any time to self-regulate. Whether it's just like a quick 5 minutes box breathing and guiding you through it, or and then the weekly sessions will be the circular, connected, conscious upregulating breathwork sessions, which are 90-minute sessions. And there's integration afterwards because I think a lot of things that come up, we need to integrate that so that we can integrate it into our everyday life. So we just don't have these experiences and we're like, well, what the heck just happened? And
Mhm.
then there's a journaling portion as well at the end of the sessions.
Nice.
Hmm.
Awesome. Good for you. You're doing a lot. That's incredible. I love it.
Thank you.
So, what else would you like to share with everybody? What are you going to charge for your membership? Do you know?
I think I'm going to have it 50% off for, I think we might do the first month free and then have it 50% off for a while. So I think it's going to be $67.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so a really good price.
That's awesome. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great. Um, this has been really a beautiful conversation, and I want to be respectful of your time. I do have my next podcast in a little bit, but what else would you like to share? And then we'll find out where you are, how people can find you and follow you and see what you're up to.
Yeah, I am on Instagram at Lo underscore Bundy, Bundy, and then Facebook, Lo Bundy. My website is www.lobundy.com. You can find all my information there. I love when people reach out in the DMs with questions about breathwork. If it's right for you, some people have fears around breathwork. I try to share as much as I can with people to get them in their comfort zone. And with breathwork, it's like I am a guide, I am the facilitator. You and your breath are in charge. I am just guiding you along the way. This is how you can increase it. This is how you can decrease it. It's your journey. You're following your intuition. I am merely a facilitator. And I think the trauma informed part is really important because with these traumas stored in the body, and to heal that, a lot of it comes up during breath work. A lot of deep stuff comes up. So having someone who's trauma informed is so key because you need to know how to guide someone through that.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question was going to be around like, does anyone have to like worry about it if they've never tried it? Like what kind of results they might get?
Yeah, with the different types of breath work, the upregulating breath work, there's certain people that should not jump right into that. Like if you've had recent surgery, glaucoma, bipolar psychosis, um, pregnancy, but then the down regulating almost everybody can do. And we can still do the up regulating breath work, but we would use our nose instead of our mouth. Our mouth actually stimulates our up regulating part of our nervous system, and our down regulating parasympathetic nervous system is activated by nasal breathing. So another little tip for everyone is that we should be nasal breathing all day, every day. I mean, when you're working out, you kind of got to mouth breathe, and there's like certain times, but when we're breathing in and out through our nose all day, every day, we're telling the body, we're telling the nervous system that we're in the rest and digest mode and that everything's okay.
I love
Just,
it.
yeah, one little
Yeah.
tip can
It's so powerful
change
because
things.
I sleep with my mouth. I know I sleep with my mouth open. I always wake up with a dry mouth, and it's because I had rhinoplasty and like I can't
Oh,
breathe out
yeah.
of one side. Yeah. And so it's really, I had one of my other interviews in the beginning of this podcast was a breath guy, but he kind of trains athletes. He doesn't call himself breath work, but he
Yeah.
teaches people how to breathe. Yeah, he's a really interesting guy in New York. But it's he says you should never be breathing out of the mouth. He says the mouth breathing is emergency only.
Yeah, there's a book called Breath by James Nestor, and he basically goes over why nasal breathing is so important, and he's completely against mouth breathing.
Mm,
I think that mouth breathing, again, for athletes has a time and a place, and for circular connected open mouth breath work, that is how you tap into those next levels of your spiritual part and getting deep into the
mm,
body. So
mhm.
I
Oh,
love the book. There's so much knowledge to it, but those are the two little areas I'm like, no, because there is a time and a place where mouth breathing is
necessary
um,
or helpful.
necessary,
Yeah,
beneficial.
that's
Yeah,
amazing. Okay, last question because I realized that I didn't ask you and then you told us about the book Breath. So I like to ask
sure.
people like who your mentors or inspirational teachers and any books that you recommend or, anybody that you would like to share with the audience.
Samantha Skelly, she runs Pause Breathwork, huge company. She is amazing.
Is
She
that where
has
you learned? Is that where you
No,
went?
actually, no, but I'm going to be taking a somatic coaching course next year, which she also offers. She has a book called Hungry for Happiness. She wrote this book a long time ago before kind of the pause breathwork came into place, but it's about binge eating and breathwork and her journey with that. And that was so helpful for me on my way as well.
I'm getting the book. Getting the
Hungry
book.
for Happiness.
Yeah,
Two
I
other
love
books
it.
that really made a difference in my life was The Miracle Morning by Hal
Uh,
Elrod.
Yeah,
That combined with Mel Robbins' 5 second rule um, totally changed my mornings and how I set up for my day, and getting the right mind frame in the morning and getting that shit done in the morning makes a difference for your whole day.
I love it. So good. Thank you, Lo. Thank you so much. What is the kitty cat's name that I'm hearing in the background?
That's Joey. So Joey's the one that just had the bowel obstruction surgery, and then the other one's Gizzy, who's downstairs. All the listeners, those are my babies.
That's so wild because today is my Joey who passed away, my dog Joey, his
Yeah.
birthday today.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed away in 2021 and my son texted me this morning telling me it's, happy birthday Joey and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh
I
my
love that.
gosh."
And that's so funny that he's being so vocal today because he's usually kind of the quiet one. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It was beautiful talking to you. I'm so excited to share your episode with everyone, and I'll let you know when it is out. And thank you for being here, Lo. It was really fun talking to you and learning so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having my kitty cat alongside me. I love sharing
Yes,
the magic of breath work. I appreciate you having me on your empowered podcast.
thank you so much.